and get started. Well, first of all, I want to welcome everybody for being here. This is the tough times we're going through. These past 5 months have been tough on everybody. And with that, everything that's been going on with COVID-19 and the do's and don'ts and who we are and what we do is so tough out there. I see so many posts out there right now just doing such a great job on running the programs, continuing to go and to do what they're supposed to be doing, helping the community and letting people know who the American Legion is and what we do as a family together. Bob, would you do me a favor and put up the flow chart for the responsibilities of the Bppr and ABT?
Yes, sir. I'm pulling them right up. 1 second.
We're gonna put a flow chart up there to give you an idea what we're looking at and what their responsibilities are within the state of Florida. As soon as we can get it up.
Yep, they're coming up.
Okay.
1 second. Bruce, you have sharing on for me, right? Bruce?
You're muted, Bruce.
Bruce, have you allowed sharing for me?
I'm trying to see how I can put you on all panelists.
Or you can share it. It's the one I sent this morning.
Yes, all panelists can share. You can share it. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I will share it now. One second. So this will be the org chart for the electorate.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up. 1 second. It is.
All right, buddy, a little bit of technical difficulties with this, and we'll get this down. Please bear with us.
It is opening. Sorry. There we go. Okay.
It's still not up yet.
It's coming. There we go.
Have patience, everybody.
I will make it larger. Can you see that?
There's nothing on the screen yet. It says it started screen sharing. There's nothing come up though.
And there we go.
Can you go to the top one first?
It should be shared now.
It is. Can you go up there to give their responsibilities?
Want their responsibilities? Yes, their responsibilities. 1 second, is right above it.
Right, right.
Okay.
There we
Hold
go.
on.
Okay, that's it.
Oops.
Can you get it center?
Yep.
A bit more. More.
There you go.
Right, everybody, this is go ahead and mute. This is a brief overview of what Bppr does and who has what responsibilities. So I'm not going to read everything to you. As you can see what it says, that's what Bppr is in charge of. Go ahead and mute right now, Bob, please.
Yep.
So what we got going on here, the Office of the Secretary, as everybody saw before, there was a inter-office memo that somehow leaked out, that someone got a hold of and posted everywhere on social media. The Office of the Secretary from Michael Johnston. It shows his responsibility of what he does. Also, it shows the responsibility of what ABT does, alcohol, beverage, and tobacco, under the certain Florida statutes of that nature. Go ahead and go down the flow chart now, Bob, please. Keep on going. Okay. Let's see. Right there. That's good, Bob. So here's the flow chart, how everything works, and everything that we've been going through. Hazy Bashir, he's secretary of the DPBR. You heard some information from him, and then you also heard a lot of information from Michael Johnson. He's the deputy secretary of the DPBR, and what falls underneath his office. Like I said again, that inter-office memo that went out, Michael Johnston, to his people below him, got leaked out, and so much miscommunication happened during that time that everybody thought it was an order that came from Tallahassee, the governor, to the Secretary of Department of Business Professional Regulation, and it started leaking out, and people started going crazy. And then when that happened, believe it or not, we started getting, Michael Johnson got some nasty emails. I'm talking about some very, very nasty emails from some of our members. And I'm not gonna say what type of email it was and who it was, but that hurt us. But when this inter-office memo came out and got leaked out, people started calling APT and DPBR about this. So it turned headlights on for us, for ABT and DPBR to start messing with us, is what happened. I'm gonna tell you something right now that we are working so hard within the state of Florida and DPBR and Michael Johnson right now, that there might be some changes coming up. But like we put out before, please, if you have stuff to say it to your elected officials, send them the letters to get on our side. We're working with DPBR and Hazy Bashir, the secretary, on doing stuff for the 501c19. So I think we're getting close, and that's really all I want to say about that, because I don't want to jeopardize nothing that we've already done. But that's what we're doing for you. Bob, can you go ahead and take that off right now? As he's taking that off, let me talk about social media. You know, social media is one of the best tools we have out there. Facebook, Twitter, emails, all that stuff like this, if it's used right. So many rumors have started out there on Facebook, and it seems like now we got about 150,000 lawyers on Facebook that has their own opinion on what a letter says or what an order says, and telling everybody else do's and don'ts. Again, like I said, if something comes out from, say, from Tallahassee, we see it, we'll vet it to make sure it pertains to us, and break it down and put it in layman's terms to be sent out to you, to every single member, every single post that we have an email address for. Plus we flood constant contact, plus we flood the Facebook. When you see that, that is what is gospel. Okay, so calling ADT and calling DPBR, trying to get your post open, or trying to do this, or trying to get answers to this, all it does is put radars on us, and you know it's not good for us. But like I said, again, we're working very, very hard with that department to get things changed. Talk about that. Bob, there was a question from 323. I want you to answer that question first, because that will cover a lot of stuff that we're talking about right now. You have that question,
Okay.
Bob?
Yep. Which question was that?
The one from 323?
Bruce, you want to read that question?
Unmute, Bruce. Unmute, Bruce.
I apologize. I didn't pull that one up and have it. I'm trying to find it right now. I should have it in my email here.
Question
Okay,
from
it's
323.
yes. So it's lengthy. It's from Tom at 323. This is my question to ask for clarification of the food service establishment license issued by the Florida Department of Health, the DBPR, and the governor's executive orders all mentioned restaurant 500 and 509 licenses. But from my research, a post does not meet the definition for those. Sticking points seem to be public food service establishments and fraternal organizations. We seem to be caught in the void. And then, of course, he goes on to Department of Health, Food Safety and Sanitation Program. The Department of Health works with food service establishments as defined by Section 381.0072 Florida statutes to help ensure their products are not of a source of foodborne illness. Generally, this includes food service operations located in institutional settings such as schools, assisted living facilities, detention facilities, adult daycares, etc. Civic and fraternal organizations, bars and lounges that don't prepare foods, and theaters that limit their food service to items customarily served at theaters, such as beverages, popcorn, hot dogs, and nachos. These codes and standards for food service establishments are found in Chapter 64E-11, Florida Administrative Code. Our licenses issued by the Florida DOH states we are a fraternal organization with full food service and seating capacities of 230. I would think there are many posts in the same situation. Any help would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely correct. And if you read the statutes, we as a veteran service organization are exempt and do not require a 509 license to serve food with alcohol. And normally speaking, prior to COVID, prior to the pandemic, those that had an 11C or an 11AL liquor license could serve food and could serve alcohol with local health department, local municipality health licenses. After the governor's executive order declaring an emergency, it changed. It changed, and at some point, it was required that they wanted to mandate through that emergency powers that anybody that served alcohol and food had to have a 509 license. So you're absolutely correct. Veteran service organizations do not need a 509 license. And that is one of the discussions we're currently having with DBPR. We're working on that. But currently speaking, you do need a 509 license. What the orders are now is that you can't serve food and alcohol. And that's what they've come out with.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. There was, Bruce, there was one more. I got another email with another question. I want to get that one answered. We need to make sure people out there start sending questions in. We have hardly any questions at all about everything that's going on right now. You got it, Bruce?
I'm looking through it right now.
Okay.
Okay, so another one that you could probably address, and I don't know if this one was sent on to you yet. Obviously, this is going to be answered in this progression, but there's a few questions here. Has there been any definitive resolution as to post-opening? So that one's going to come up, and you'll be able to cite that with the rest of these. Why is it that a cigar bar may operate and we cannot? I suppose you're able to control. Well, it's just some comments about the COVID, and we all understand that, and we're all frustrated over it. So there's no need in reading those comments. But the main question there is, how come a cigar bar can open and a Legion cannot?
You want to answer that, Bob?
They have a different license. A cigar bar is licensed differently. And the powers that be, talk to your legislators, have chosen to let cigar bars be open. Nothing we can do about that except your legislators. So
Well,
there is.
Bob, I have a question for you. So if a post can sell cigarettes, which they can sell cigars and cigarettes,
Yes, sir.
does that make them a cigar bar?
No, sir.
Okay.
That's a good question, actually, because a lot of posts have asked that question. If you're selling cigarettes and cigars or tobacco products, you get an endorsement on your liquor license that says tobacco. And what that means is you can have cigarette vending machines and sell packs of cigarettes and cigars across the bar. There is a very special category of license that's called a cigar bar. It's very different than an 11C or an 11AL. That type of license, and you can check that on a DBPR website under licenses, but it's a very different category of license. So it is different. And the legislature, you can talk with your legislators. We're working with DBPR closely. We're trying to get this changed. But if you do have a complaint about that, talk to your legislatures. But no, different category.
Okay. I got some, Bruce, you want me to start down the list for the questions? You want me just to do it?
That's okay. So a couple of questions for the audience there. So with that said, we cannot be open to serve food and alcohol. So just for clarification.
I'm gonna answer that live. What it says, we cannot be open to serve food and alcohol. You can be open to serve food. You can't serve alcohol, according to the last order from DPBR. So ABT, what I've been told, can stop you from selling alcohol, but cannot close your post unless you're in violation of something. Okay, they have a right to do that, but all we can do is tell you to stop selling alcohol, and we'll probably give you a warning, but I wouldn't take a chance. Again, your liquor license is in jeopardy, and a lot of posts depend on a liquor license to keep going and do the proper things within the community and to do our American Legion programs.
All right.
Perfect. From Peter D, can the post be open for meetings?
Yes, you can, Pete. You can be open for meetings. Again, I just stated that you can serve food if you have a kitchen and food handlers and the proper Department of Health license to serve food. You just can't serve alcohol. But yes, you can be open for meetings.
You know, Commander, the other thing that's interesting that they did add, most of our liquor licenses, they have allowed us to sell off premises. So you can, and I was under the impression too, until I had a discussion with Mr. Johnston, that was limited to selling sealed beer, but it's not. You can sell mixed drinks in a sealed container. I asked him what was a sealed container, and he said anything you can put it in, it puts a cover on it and let them take it out. So we can sell mixed drinks in a sealed container, beer in a sealed container for consumption off premises with food. So they can do that.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, we got another one from Joe M. Are we any closer to getting the Legion reclassified as something other than a bar?
Yes, Joe M. We're working on that. Our lobbyist is up there right now to try to get us reclassified and get us out of the bar nightclub status under the liquor license, 4-5-1C19. So that is being worked on. That's going to take, the reclassification will take a little bit of time to get this done. But they are working on it. We have people looking at it, and hopefully we can get that done and just have a special classification for our 501c19, our nonprofit veterans organizations.
Okay, so the next one comes with Michael S. He said, you said discussions are in progress with DBPR, but has there been any conversation with the governor or his office regarding these issues?
Thank you for the question, Michael. I appreciate it. I have been trying, we have been trying, even our lobbyists have been trying to get the governor on some type of meeting, and I want to get him on a webinar. If you know, he could be in a hotel room and be in a webinar. But no, we have not received any word back from the governor's office. With all the letters and all the emails and everything else that's been sent forward, he still has not got back with us.
Okay, so we have a question here from Paul B. What about a post that wants to apply for a restaurant license through DBPR? It's a $50 application fee and about $400 for the license.
Bob, you want to answer that?
Yeah, you can apply for whatever you like as a post. I suspect you're not gonna, it's a very difficult license to get. Normally speaking, outside of the pandemic and COVID, you don't need it, you're exempted from it. So I don't know if you really want to do that, but you're more than welcome to go do that if you like. It's a difficult license. I don't suspect you would meet the qualifications for it. That license category is made for very large restaurants. But if you would like to do it, you could. But again, you don't need it outside of the pandemic. We are exempted from those licenses. We're only being required to have it because of the governor's emergency order.
Thank you.
Hey, Bob, just, I'm sorry, Commander.
Go ahead.
Bob, would there be any consequences in the future of maintaining a license like that other than just having it? Wouldn't you have to do some kind of maintenance or anything?
No, I mean, it is a difficult license to get. They're made for those large restaurants. So the requirements are very strict. I doubt very much many posts could get it. Some of the very large ones potentially could, but it's a very strict license to get. So,
okay.
You know.
So I think this one's been answered. Is a post allowed to serve takeout orders only? Past practice at our post during normal times had a lot of takeout orders. So basically they're asking if that's all they're allowed to do is takeout orders.
Oh, I answer that. You got to remember there's, I think, 60 counties, 57 counties, 57 counties can do that. There's 3 counties that are still in phase 1, which is West Palm, Broward, and Miami-Dade. So you have to go with what your city and the phase 1 operating is. I know there's phase 1 for Broward County was you could do drive up, takeout orders only. I don't know if that's, I think that's still in effect. So just for those 3 counties, like I said, West Palm, Broward, and Miami-Dade. But you can do your takeout, call in, or curbside service under the phase 1.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just clicked around there. What difference does diet soda or soda, juice, water, etc., or a beer or cocktail have to do with social distancing? This is supposed to be about not spreading the virus.
I think you answered your own question. The difference is one has alcohol and one doesn't have alcohol, and yeah, you still have to do social distance. Talking about, you know, I'm glad for the question. The social distance, you know, I've been around some posts and stuff like this, and going around and see some posts that are not doing social distance. You know, again, we're working hard with DPPR and ABT to try to get things changed for our organization. And if we start getting caught doing the wrong things and not doing social distance, and they start stating the American Legion post whatever, was in violation of this right here. I thought you guys were going to do the things by the book, but you have to make sure that you follow the phase 2 operations, whether you're open or closed, meetings or not. You have to social distance. If you can't social distance, you have to make sure you wear a mask or be 6 foot apart. Okay, and so the mask, me personally, the mask help. They really do. Thank you for the question.
Okay, so this is always a tough one. I mean, we obviously as department have to be looking out for, you know, liability issues and all that. But here comes the next one. What is the suggestion from department as to posts and canteens remaining open at this point until ABT comes in and tells them otherwise? ABT seems to be hitting posts at random, mainly based on complaints.
Well, you're right. They have been going at random. It depends on what part of the state you live in. Some posts have it made, some posts don't have it made. But I'm not going to tell you to do certain things that we have not been able to do in accordance to our last memo from Michael Johnston from DPBR and ABT. We can't sell alcohol unless it's for, like Bob said earlier, unless it's for a package outside sales. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, every post knows what they do. I would make sure you tell your membership what's going on, the consequences of what could happen, and God forbid you lose your license. Just because I know posts are hurting, and you know, it tears me apart to see what's going on out there. It really does, and I hate that this is going on. But just do the right things. That's all I can say about that.
Okay. Next one is from Michael H. And I think you just touched on this in your last answer. What is the penalty for serving alcohol, or potential penalty for serving alcohol?
You lose your license.
Yep.
You know, and especially if they come in and write you up, and then you come in again and you're drinking alcohol or serving alcohol again, you will lose your license. And we have a lot of posts out there that's been grandfathered in, that the posts were there before certain things happened around schools and hospitals and stuff like this, that if they lose the license, they will not get their license back again. So I'd be careful.
Okay. The next one comes from Roy H. And can a post serve food and alcohol only to go? And I think if you look at that sentence, the key in there is and alcohol. If you're including alcohol, I think we know the answer.
You can serve food and you can sell sealed package to go for off-premise consumption, according to DBPR. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, Joe M., I think we already answered that one. Yep. From Alan C., does that mean posts can't sell alcohol for consumption on the premises? Yes, we already answered that one. I apologize, I'm trying to catch up here. Our post is closed for alcohol, yet I see some posts are open serving alcohol. Why is that? That's...
Well, again, the post will do what they want to do. We put out the information that we get from DPBR and ABT, and should it be open, selling alcohol? According to DPBR, no. No, they shouldn't. According to ABT, no. Again, like I said, it depends on where you live at and what ABT is doing or not doing. So, but I still wouldn't, I would not take the chance. I really wouldn't. But again, it's up to the post. It's up to your members, you know, but I'll make sure your members understand what the order is. Go ahead, Bruce.
Okay. This next one, I guess it really isn't a question, but it's a good example. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read that one, Commander. This is Anthony S. I did follow the rules as outlined by the Department of Health and was given approval in writing by the County Board of Health last Tuesday The ABT came in at 22:30 and said we needed to close. We complied to not cause any issues. We can sell curbside food and alcohol in sealed containers. We can sell food inside, but the issue is members do not want to come out and drink soda and water with their food. So in essence, though we are open, we really have our hands tied. So that's just a really good example of what they're going to do to come in, and they're going to close you down if you're selling alcohol against the authority of the state. The state said you can't do it unless it's in sealed containers, and that's exactly what an example of what he's given there.
Exactly.
For posts that have food handlers licenses, they're being grouped in with all posts, and the state legion is making sweeping statements closures. Can you categorize posts? You know, again, it's not ours, but I'll let you go ahead and take that.
It's supposed to have food handling license. Well, you have to have a food handling license in order to serve food anyway, and a county or city health certificate in your post saying you're allowed to serve food. So these are just making sweeping statements closures. Can you categorize posts? Well, we can't categorize a post because we're so diversified out there that we don't know what every post does or what license they have or don't have, whether they have a food handler's license or not. It's up to the city and county health department that's doing it. Then here we go again talking about the 509 license under DPBR. Yes, DPBR handles all the big restaurants and stuff like this, but for us, the city and county health departments is one who's inspects us, not DPBR. So I hope that answers your question. That's Bob, you have anything else on that? You would like to say anything?
No, sir. I think it's up to the individual post. Again, they're autonomous. They need to check with their local authorities on what they can do on the health side and the food handling side. All we know right now is that the state is telling them that they can't serve alcohol when they serve food.
Right.
No, I do not, Bruce.
Okay. Can we still have dinners as long as we were socially adhere to the guidelines of social distancing?
Yes. As long as you're licensed to sell food, as long as you're doing social distancing.
Okay, here's I guess a good one from Fred P. Can we sell non-alcoholic beer?
I guess you can, if there's as long as no percent of alcohol in there.
There you go.
It's like a Coke, Diet Coke.
Okay, I'm thinking everybody else we go here, so it takes me a second to get through them.
I'm going to.
If your liquor license included in the drawings, the outside area, can they serve to-go sealed liquor for consumption outside with social distancing? So if the liquor license was written, it was issued and includes your tiki bar, for instance, they're asking if you can sell alcohol to go and they can adjourn to the tiki bar to drink their alcohol.
That's just doing
Bob and I talked about this earlier today.
That's just doing a fine line thing again. It says for off-premises consumption. So the drawing of your tiki bar is on your premise for your license. So you can't do it at the tiki bar. You have to do it off-premise.
Right. Correct.
So, from Paul B, can you have hall rentals without liquor?
Sure.
As long as you social distance, and if you're renting to outside of our family organization, I hope you have a contract and take the liability away from you in case something happens there, because that could be very, very tough. But as long as you social distance, then there shouldn't be a problem.
Right. Social distance, 50% occupancy.
Right.
Yep.
Well, down in Palm Beach is 25%.
Right. Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point too. Is that everything is specific to your individual areas.
Yes, sir.
So Eddie is asking. Here's probably a fine line question. Can we have a tent outside for members to sit down while they eat and have a drink?
Again, Eddie, it's a, I think it's a fine line again. If you put the tent off premises, but then will the city or county allow you to have a open container off the premises? So again, it's for off-premise consumption. So I don't know what city. So if you're allowed to do that, then that's a different story as long as it's off-premise.
Okay. This next question, 11C club license in 700 regs of beverage regulations declares fraternal organizations do not fall under the legal term of sales within the Florida statutes. So have the beverage regs been reviewed? And DBPR will not give a restaurant license per statutes of Florida. I guess they're making a statement. They're saying that a fraternal organization can't get a license according to the statute.
Chances are you will not get a 509 restaurant license as a nonprofit, but you don't need one because we're exempted from it. We're only being required to have it because of the emergency order. So that's where we are right now. But we're working on that with DBPR right now.
Okay, and I think you just covered that portion with the tax exempt in there too, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, William H., thank you for that. Enrique, okay, that was also answered there.
Same thing with that one, that's answered.
Yeah. So another one, they just, okay, I already applied and they denied it, saying we fall under the Department of Health. Right. So they didn't allow them to get one. So I'll
go ahead and answer the next one. Castro with Donnie.
Okay.
That's it. Go ahead, read it. I'm sorry.
In the 11th district, the majority of posts in Palm Beach County, county mayor is still waiting for the governor's office to allow to move to full phase 2. Does the conversation with Michael Johnston allow us to open now?
No, because of the 3 counties that Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade is still under phase 1. So it's going to be up to the governor to put those 3 counties in phase 2. And the way the numbers are looking, I don't think that's going to happen soon. As you know, Broward and Miami-Dade already have curfews again. So it's, I think it's going to be, it might be a little while again. I know it's not what you want to hear, but that's just what we're seeing by the numbers and what's going on. And we can't get the governor to even answer us right now. So I doubt if he's going to put hotspots into a phase 2 situation right now.
Okay. Joe M. has been busy typing. This is another question. Food service and meetings, are there requirements specifically listed with regarding masks, social distancing, occupancy, capacity, etc.?
Yes, there is. 57 out of 60 counties. If you look at phase 2 reopening, it has everything on there. We can put that on our website to show you what the phase 2 reopening is, and it says everything that you have to do inside your post, as far as bartenders, say servers wearing leaves, the table has to be disinfected, but all those regulations are in the phase 2 reopening of everything that has to be done.
Okay. James P. is asking, in the conversation with DBPR, what is your best guess when a DBPR order will be lifted and we could fully reopen?
James, my answer is, I hope soon. I hope soon. But again, I'm telling everybody out there that's on our webinar, the more letters we get to your elected officials and to the governor's office, the better it's going to be. So our voice needs to be heard out there. You know, with our Legion family, we got close to 200,000 people. If we can get all those letters sent to your elected officials, it's going to help us a lot.
Okay, we're starting a little bit technical. I don't know if we're gonna be able to answer these, all of them, but because Denny L, because the bar is shut down, which effectively means our post liquor license is in suspension. If any individual rents our banquet room, can they bring alcohol into our facility for their consumption during the event without endangering our liquor license?
No, they can't. Again, on premises. It has to be for off premises. You're renting your hall on your premise, and you can't have consumption of alcohol on premise, according to Bppr right now.
Okay. Are there any issues regarding a post being legally liable if a member tests positive and blames the post?
Well, that's gonna be a hard question to answer. We'll definitely get back with you on that one. All these question and answers, if we can get to them all, we'll answer them all. But the ones we can't get to, we will answer all the questions that are on the list, because we have a list of them, and we will get them on the website and contact you with the answer and put the list out. But I don't want to say nothing about that right now. Okay.
Is the restriction of sale of food in excess of 50% of all sales of food and beverage still in effect?
No, it's not. That was lifted.
Peter D. So with no restaurant license, we cannot sell food, but can we make food and take donations?
Bob, you want to answer
that? I'm confused. So
I'm too.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't prepare food if I didn't have a license. I'm confused at what kind of restaurant license you're talking about. If prior to COVID, if your post made food and sold food at your bar, I would say you could still do food without the alcohol. So I'm really confused at that question. I think we need some more information.
Okay. And the next one is the commander stating now, since we were moved to phase 1, we are allowed to open for curbside service in Palm Beach County.
Johnny, you need to check with Palm Beach County and make sure you can do it. Again, like I said, the 3 counties are phase 1. And if I can remember, phase 1, you was allowed to have a curbside service when I was living down there in Broward County. So in the phase, and that's when we went to the Applebee's and stuff like this. We called in, made an order, they came out and brought you the food. So I'm assuming that it is, but with everything going on, I'll double check with the county just to make sure first, Johnny.
Okay. If y'all could leave that Tracy up there, I'm gonna address that separately offline. Did you have any information on how many posts have been inspected or visited by ABT and the results of the inspection? That comes from Dirk S.
Dirk, we don't know how many. I know I get emails all the time from different posts that have been inspected by ABT and been shut down and been wrote a warning citation on what it was. So I don't know the numbers, and right now I don't know of anybody who's been fined with anything yet, and I hope that doesn't happen. But I don't know the numbers.
Could we file a lawsuit for our county to open? Comes from Gary P. Gary,
anybody can file any lawsuit. You know, it's but I wouldn't file it under 501c19 license. I would, you know, get with your restaurant owners and bar owners and stuff like this, and get together. I think there's these craft breweries got a lawsuit going on and stuff like this, but it just, you know, it's putting fuel on the fire. You know, is all that's going on. It's up to you. It's, that's all I can say on that. I don't want to get in no legal things or put us in any type of jeopardy saying department commander said this, but I did not say it.
Okay. So another one on the sale of alcohol to go. So just to clarify, this is from Raymond B, excuse me. So just to clarify, our liquor license will allow us to sell alcohol sealed with food. I was under the assumption that we had to have a package license for that.
Raymond, DPBR put out in their memo that in this phase 2 type thing, that you're allowed to sell. You don't have to have a package license during this time right now to sell sealed alcohol for off-premise consumption. So anybody who has an alcohol license can do that right now under this emergency act.
This comes from Cherie K. What if the local code enforcement says you can be open? I think we heard one example of that, but I'll let you expound on it.
Well, yeah, the local code enforcement in Tallahassee are two different things. You saw the graph of how DPPR works and what falls underneath DPPR. Who trumps who? It's does DPPR say and ABT says no, you can't open, but DPPR says you can open, but you can't sell alcohol. So code enforcement, I don't know for sure, but you got the list. You know what is said right now for opening and closing and selling alcohol and food. So.
Okay, so Jennifer D writes in, bottom line, are we back to square one as we were 3 months ago, meaning we, the Legion, in a waiting pattern until further notice?
Well, bottom line, we're not at square one. We're moving forward. Yeah, these last 5 months have been tough. Open, close, and then ABT coming in and DPR coming in. Yeah, but we have no idea what's going to happen. But like I said again, we're working hard to try to get things changed for our 501c19 license. But all the posts out there, you have to help us, help you. If you're not doing the right thing and you get caught, trust me, they will make an example of you and it will go away what we're trying to do right now.
This comes from Randy H. With most posts having one of two licenses, 11 being one of them, our post is looking to have a social quarters with a 2 COP license, beer and wine, open or closed containers, no limit on alcohol content. Would this type license avoid the problem in the future, to which we could have a package store? Second question, the Department of Agriculture has food licenses. If you serve baked goods or food served from a frozen state.
Again, we're picking through straws right now. What if? And we always said that, we fall in a different category for food and license through the health department, county and city health department. This is just, do not put fuel on the fire, do the right thing, and let us check different things on what we can do and what we can't do. And that's all we're trying to do right now. But we can't nitpick, and I'm sure we can go through every statute in the state of Florida and find a loophole somewhere, but DPPR could say no. That's exactly what's going to happen. So I hope it answers your question a little bit.
So from Bonnie F, can we do raffles and a barbecue to raise money if no alcohol is involved and it's to go? Or we have a pool they can hang out at the pool for the day?
As long, I know there's different regulations for pools right now under phase 2. As long as you follow whatever your county, city says for your social distance and for the pool, and as long as you follow the social distance for you outside, your barbecue, as long as you're not selling alcohol, that there should not be any problem at all. But again, check with your county, your city and county officials about your pool status and how to social distance, especially in the pool.
Sorry, just scrolling up here. The American Legion is classified as a 501c19. How do we motivate members to the mission of the nonprofit to move forward with programs needed to be done?
Whoever American Legion is, how can we do that? It's our, we need to do that together. We need to be motivators. We need to be leaders. We need to let the communities know what we do out there. And what our nonprofit veterans organization does, a 501c19, is, again, we're still the best kept secret out there. We are. And until we get more involved in the community and get more people involved in what's going on and what our mission is and all the programs that we do out there, we're still going to have this problem for years to come. So again, I say it a lot, we are the best kept secret out there. Right now is the time to bring it out of the box.
Okay. And I think this next one is just a point being made by Tracy here. I jumped down a little bit. Though we get the info for posts overall, we are still trolled from our county. We are Palm Beach County, so we are not lumped in for all legions.
You're exactly right. Again, one of the counties that's still in phase 1, Palm Beach County. I'm sorry, you know, it's tough being down there right now, but hopefully we can get this virus to start leveling out and going down, and the government will start doing the right thing for the right reasons. But we have to do the same thing.
This comes from Susan K. Can we have entertainment if we are social distancing and not selling alcohol on site?
Yes. Yes, you can.
You're supposed to take a little longer to answer so I can scroll to the next one here.
I'm scrolling through too.
I've got some kind words out there. Thank you, Tim. So Johnny C is asking again if we can clarify the Palm Beach County issue. You know, it's not the only county. I think there's 3 down there. I don't know if there's any more right now, but you can go ahead and expound on that if you were from there originally.
Well, I was in Broward County, but Palm Beach County, again, you need to check to see exactly what's going on. I know you're still under phase 1. The governor has not opened you up for phase 2. And like I said, in Miami-Dade and Broward, they have curfew set up right now. So check with the county and see what's going on with that before you do anything and put any word out. That's what I would do, Johnny.
Okay, here's one from Armand L. Emergency Order 2020-09 does not specifically mention 509 license, or that license needs to be from DBPR. Only use term license to serve food. Why does this order even apply to the American Legion, as we have license to serve food, as we are exempt from DBPR license requirements?
You're exactly right. That's what we've been talking about. When the order came out, it says license to serve food. It didn't say 509, but DBPR put in the 509. So we follow the flow chart. We follow the guidelines for DBPR and ABT, and that's what we're doing right now. But we're trying to get that removed. We're trying to get the 509 removed for our organization.
Okay. Commander, just real quick, there's 41 questions on the board. We have about less than 5 minutes left. Okay. So, you know, we have all these questions, everything that's been asked, we have them in a document as soon as we close this webinar down, so I can get them out and we can start getting answers to these folks that haven't been already answered. But here's an interest.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Just someone, I've had 2 or 3 of them asking if we're going to have a fall conference. We've been discussing that, but I'll let you go ahead and provide the answer.
As far as the fall conference, we don't know yet. We're working with the hotel for our drop dead date. It depends on what goes on with the COVID-19 and what the hotel does. And trust me, we're kind of looking at a virtual type fall conference with classes, the whole 9 yards. We're starting to work on that now, just in case this does happen. But the way it looks, unless these numbers drop very, very fast and something happens, a miracle happens, I really don't see it happening. I really don't. But we will let everybody know. And if anybody makes reservations at the hotel, because the reservations are open, I know they take one night, charge your card. If there was a cancel, you would get that money back. You get all your stuff, all your money back that you spent for that one night.
Okay. Just got a couple minutes left, Commander. Any closing remarks?
I see some other things right here. It says, are working with the VFW. Yes, we are. We're trying to work with the VFW. We're trying to get with our other service organizations to get on board for a united front of everything going on here. But again, different organizations are doing different things. I see. Keg of beer going back. Can you give it away? Well, I think you know the answer to that. I'm not going to. We talked about the 50% sales, food and stuff like that. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through all the questions just very quickly. If I see something we haven't.
So, hey, Commander, there's a couple people that's asked that question, and any license obtained for sale in the bars cannot be given away, correct?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. I think that gives them an answer.
I think the last thing you should stress is there are a couple of people that made the comment that those posts that decide to go their own way and break the rules and get caught affect the credibility of what we're trying to do with the state. Our credibility and our ability to get any changes made is based on the entire department following the rules and staying in line. And when posts get caught falling out of line, then we have a problem with credibility, and it just makes it that much harder to get any of these rules changed to better our ability to serve our members.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right, Clarence. I see one question on here. Troy, if we don't have a conference, service officer certification will not lapse. Okay, we're being grandfathered in until we can have it again. So the service officers certification will not lapse. Let's see. Well, I went through all the Bob and just scrolling through real quick and seeing what was out there, all the questions, stuff like this. Maybe we can have this maybe once a month or once a quarter or something like this, just to put out information. People, please just be safe. Let's do the right thing. I know it's hard to do the right thing. There's people hurting, there's posts hurting, as far as paying bills and stuff like this. We know it's happening out there, and we're trying to do the best we can to help these individual posts that want to help themselves. So with that being said, thank you for participating in our first webinar. It will get better. We'll click on more quickly and stuff like this. It has some other things to share on the screen and stuff like this about documentation. But please be safe out there. And please, again, write your congressman, have them send letters to the governor, write letters to the governor. I want to get the governor on a webinar where we can get some certain things talked about, because he is a veteran. He's a member of the Legion. So I don't know what he's afraid of, but he needs to get on there with us and